Man, people are really hating on the old fuel door on this fine Chevy Nomad. Dan here, TV Speed Shop. So, where we left it last, we were patinaing interior panels. I know, pretty smart guy here. But anyway, I made a hell of a mess and I had run out of material. So I went and got some more material and we'll get into that later today. Or this video, we'll see, it's already late. I have cleaned up a little bit in here and I got a few items ready to work, but I thought I'd just give you a quick tour of the car. I have since cleaned up the interior. As it turns out, little word to the wise, when you're in a car trying to do interior and you're kneeling on screws and you're cutting your fingers on razor blades you forgot you had, it sucks. So spend a few minutes and clean the car out. Don't be an idiot. Anyway, look at that. It's nice, easy at work in there. I finished off the dash. That was where we finished the last video. You're going to see it again because I'm pretty proud of it. I'm really happy with the way that turned out. I did put the trim on. I realized I'm missing, I think, this piece on that side. I don't know if I bought it or not. I'll have to go through and see, but it didn't appear to be obvious. Anyway, so the plan today is very simple. Get the panels we've already made there, and actually these ones are just set up in place with tape. But I'd like to get the panels screwed in. I tried some magnets. Those didn't really work out for me. I went out and bought a bunch of these kind of, we're going to call them fancy screws. So hopefully I could put some of those in there and get it set into place. We're not going to go too crazy, just a few to kind of get it set. Start putting moldings on. I do have to finish these rear glass, the corner piece. They sit in a rubber channel, and then there's a few mounts, why'd I say it like that hold it in. So essentially it can't come out this way. There's a channel it fits in, so you just hold it in that way, and that's what happens. I got to finish mounting in these channels for the windows, so a couple of boring things like that. So we got to get that taken care of. Then we can essentially put the interior together. I then bought some plywood. I wanted to get the rear cargo area done, and my original plan was plywood down, cut it in little sections so I can have one removable section for the tire well, so obviously it'd be kind of two pieces, which is very normal. That's how wagons are. And you need a couple access holes for the shock mount up there. Anyways, I was gonna do that and then put down just some like click floor. Well, in my head, I wanted something really dark, or like a dark cherry or red, or like reddish, you know what I mean? And that is not in style. Everything is like grays and whites or plain wood, which I thought would look ugly. So I've ordered something off Amazon, won't be here for a few days, and it is complete other direction, looking wild. Shocker, I know. So we'll probably get the wood down. I'm still going to put the wood down, something to kneel on and all that. But that's as far as we're going to get. Unfortunately, what else I got going on? Oh, I ordered, I don't know if it's for this. I kind of was thinking. So I have these big old giant meats on it, and I love the way this looks. Now, this thing originally came, it had a 12-bolt Chevy in it, which is a little bit too wide. And I think they had radiused the wheel wells to make everything fit. But I was going to get the 12-bolt rebuilt, narrowed down to maybe an inch or so narrower than stock, and then put it in here with gears, posi, the whole deal. You know, I know 8.8 Chevy or 8.8 Fords and a Ford 9-inch and all that stuff. For one, I have the 12-bolt. It's going to cost more to rebuild. Away she goes. I also just like Chevy diff and a Chevy car. We're not pulling all sorts of horsepower. It'd be kind of cool. Put bolt-in axles. It'll be neat. Anyways, to accomplish the maximum tire, so these they fit. It really needs probably a 1/4-inch spacer, and then we could probably roll the edge a little, and then right here is where we actually would probably have to do a little trimming. But I'm not against doing that to make these big meats fit. But they sell a kit, which I put in before. It's a leaf spring relocation kit, so on Tri-5s, a lot of things. The leaf springs are on perches that sit on the outside of the frame. What this does is it moves it so it centers it in the frame. And that gives you a couple more inches. You are limited then by wheel tub, but right now the big meats are rubbing against the leaf spring. We still have some room to the tub itself. So I ordered that kit, it's like $300. So we might do that, and then this thing would actually be able to be like 100% drivable. And like I said, we could put the spacers on, it would probably be okay, but I'm not a big fan of that. I'd rather spend the $300-400 and a little bit of, a couple of days of welding and have the rear end in, a proper rear end in properly. Then we'd have a, rowdy small block, rebuilt Turbo 350 with a high stall and a 12-bolt kind of a cool car. You know, essentially, you know, indestructible. The factory rear ends are not the strongest. But before we do all that, climbing in and out of this thing is a freaking nightmare because I'm probably gonna take a seat out. 2 doors, nightmare, and getting in this is a pain because I have no latches on, or no cables on the tailgate, and there's no prop on the lift gate. So I gotta figure out the lift gate situation. But for those of you who don't know, Tri-5s have the stupidest design for cables to hold up the tailgate. Now I know why they did it, because I'm now running into issues, but just for those of you who don't know, you have to buy this piece, which is broken, but this fits right up here. You got to bolt it in from the inside out. It fits between the inside of the car and the quarter, and there's a strap on it, metal strap, and this has, it's retractable, like I said, janitor keys. That then goes into a piece of cable. The cable then runs through, it comes out through this hole, which there's a little, I'm missing it, but over here you can see there's a little, you know, piece like that, which then goes all the way to here. And then as you open and close it, there's 2 retractors that pull in, pull out. Well, they rust, they screw up, they do all sorts of things. Oh, and there is this piece, which I've taken out, that fits behind the quarter panel, bolts in from the top down, which secures the cable and guides it. So it kind of sits at an angle like that, right up here, right up above the fuel door. So I took these out and cleaned the threads and all that when the frickin' quarter panel was off, but for the average guy, nightmare. Anyway, I'm not putting those on. They are a fortune. I think the retractor's like $100 a piece, plus the cables, plus I don't have the little eyelets and I'm missing bits, so it'll be like $400 for a stupid setup. So I went down to the local hardware store. They had these on sale, $9.99. So we're gonna put them on. I set them in with some tech screws, see what they're gonna do. I'd like to have it further out, but this one goes further out, this goes further down. So we'll see. It's a good little prototype. I'm gonna start drilling and cutting. I don't quite know what I'm gonna do yet. Worst case, we get some longer cables, we'd probably be set, but the way she goes, let's get after it. That was a lot of yapping. As always, we started, well, I did one side on my own, and we'll film the next. So pretty simple little system I did here. Now, the problem is we run out of room. This wasn't like a truck where it would have, you know, its little, you know, male end sticking out that this kind of clips on. We don't have room. This is a weld on, grind off setup. Now, I was a little concerned about strength because this is just kind of single wall up here. It's still kind of single wall, but does have a backing plate in it that kind of bolts it all together. So what I did, I drilled a hole, I sunk the bolt in, I welded it in, then I took a washer and I put it over the bolt. I welded the washer around to the sheet metal, and then I welded the bolt to the washer. I then put the piece on, and then took another washer, welded it, and then ground it flush. It's basically I staked it on. You know, guys would do that back in the day. So that's kind of how that worked. Up here, I only did the bolt. I actually had to have it out a little bit just so this would clear. And this is much, much, much thicker. So we should be okay, I'm thinking. I did give it a little push, and actually it's kind of started to crack and make some funny noises down here by the hinges, which all the hinges have done on this thing, and I'm sure, I don't know how many years, it's literally just go up and down. There's been no force on them for probably 40 years. So we'll see what cracks there. This may not be a, you know, 3 full-size adults sitting on the tailgate. It may be just put it down, crawl in, put a cooler on it, box t-shirts or something like that. But we'll film the other side, get it all taken together. I think we should be okay. I'm hoping. There definitely is, I mean, a lot of leverage out here, but I mean, at this point now, it is what it is. Add 2 of these and we'll be fine. Or 2 more. Or worst case, I'll get a custom 4x4 just to go here to the ground. It'll be fine. So it works. I sat on it. My fat ass obviously flexed the tailgate a little bit. So that's where the hinge goes through. But everything fits. You know, kind of does its thing. I think it's she's sturdy. The hinge goes in and then it bolts in here somehow. And I don't know if maybe something's rubbing against there. I did have, obviously I welded a patch in there. And I welded a patch in here. Oh yeah, this tailgate was pretty beat up, as I recall. But I don't know. A fatty can sit on it. It should be fine. Yeah, this one was a little tight, but ultimately it just kind of loops up into itself. Closes fine. No real issues there. I got some rubber in it. But yeah, that's a decent little win. Keep it from rattling down the road. So yeah, we just gotta, I think what we'll probably do, this one obviously had a bunch of filler on it. This one does not. You can see the hinge. I'll probably just weld the whole hinge on to there. It's obviously got a little movement. Grind it down, paint it black, and call it a day. But that's where we're leaving that for now. That's fine. That's a win. Now we gotta make a latch piece, which is probably a 2x4. But let's start making some door panels, do something fun. Well, we've got ourselves a new day. Not gonna lie, I was screwing around the car and cut my finger. So obviously I had a boo-boo, I needed to take the night off. So I didn't do a whole lot here yesterday. I did come out now today, and I was kind of screwing around, getting stuff together, figuring things out. I wanted to get this kind of clamshell to hold itself. Now, it's not ideal. I mean, I only have one arm, and there's supposed to be another one that goes here, which I don't currently have. And of course, you go on eBay and all that sort of stuff. They're sold in pairs. So I got a stick or something like that for that side. I just kind of put up just to show you guys, and I was climbing in and out there. So hopefully it doesn't break that thing in half. Oh, so you want to hear why Nomads frickin' suck? So I got most of the interior in. Put the panels in. I got the trim on. It actually looks pretty darn good. But anyways, I'll show you. So I thought, when you have a Nomad, you're gonna have the windows open like this. So I was all excited. We'll put a back seat in there and be like, oh, that's gonna be pretty cool, having the glass all the way back. Well, let me tell you how Chevrolet. Oh, God, these frickin' tailgates. Why are they so sharp? Oh my. Man. Oh, that's gonna leave a mark. Anyway, oh man, this car. You think it's karma for talking shit about it? Anyway, these stupid back pieces, so I put the trim on, and as you can see, the back part of the trim, that's the corner, it's quite a bit thicker than the side piece. Man, my leg really hurts. Anyways, what that does, it's the same top and bottom. It limits how far the glass can go back. Well, it's hitting on the top one. So, obviously it's meant for a stop, and I realize you don't want the glass going into the corner, but I thought it would go back to at least there. So that is how much space you have to open the Nomad side glass. The whole reason this thing is cool is because of the side glass, and you can open it like 8 inches or something. Do I have a tape measure here? Nothing obvious. Man, my leg hurts. Like, it's stupid. That's like, this is gonna be a sweat box. You have all this glass and it opens up this far. So either I've installed it wrong or this is absolutely ridiculous. Now, anyways, we put on the door panels, very simple. I just put some kind of fancy screws on it. There's like a screw with a washer. They're for like seat cushions or something. I think it came out pretty good. The door works. I put the trim on there. Same thing in here, I held it back. Ugh. Everything looks fine. Put the trim on there. I didn't bother cleaning it or doing anything. I might SOS it down the road, but I'm happy with it. I think it turned out quite well. Now what we have to do is make this panel, because I cut that one too short, so we'll do that real quick. Oh yeah, we gotta wrap that, and then we gotta make the vinyl on that side. So I'm thinking maybe tonight I'd like to get all that done, the trim in, and button all that up. I also got in the mail my headlight bucket, so we can put that on. I don't have any headlights, but really this thing should have a full interior. I have sill plates in town at a guy's house, but I haven't picked up yet. And there's probably no point really putting on the driver's side panel until I track down a proper wing window so the glass and all that will fit. So that door, I'm gonna put a screw in it or something like that, but it won't be finished. But the rest of it will be. Then we can just start working on our cargo floor. Be pretty exciting. Okay, so cram my fat ass into the back here, and I have to trim the foam real quick, and then I'll spread out some of this vinyl. I think I should have enough, and I think I'll just glue it on. We got the heat gun out. We'll kind of push it around, do what we got to do, get down in the front wheel well. That's where it's, or front of the wheel well, I should say. There's a bit of a hassle, and then yeah. I think that should be it. I did do the best job in the corners, so put a piece of trim there. We'll let that panel dry a little bit. It smells like paint thinner in here. That's awesome. Nothing gets you motivated like seeing everything twice. Probably should bend this out of the way. Man, this thing is. Every time I look at this damn car, there's something else. It needs to be friggin' done. Like someone torch cut the seam there. I guess it was probably done when they were torch cutting the latches. People. Okay, let's jam on this. Well, we're in there. It's not perfect, but it's a little lumpy. For anybody who doesn't know, this thing has got a brand new floor in it, front to back, new rockers, quarter panels, the whole deal. The car was ring, so we straightened her up, new chassis, and I had to put a new floor in, the cargo floor. It's welded right there, I think. It's actually brown. So what I did at the time, I don't believe you could find the cargo floor, or it was just an absolute fortune. So I bought a 56 sedan delivery for $1,000 and proceeded to chop it up, part it out, get roasted on the internet, and I used the floor section out of it, which was, you know, rust-free, nice. And the wheel tubs were finished on the Nomad, and I think I just spliced them in the center. Well, the top was decent. I spliced the center. So it's got a bit of a hump there and then all this kill mat, so away she goes. Anyway, enough blabbling. I think it looks fine. Just don't look down there. And realistically, again, the seat will be there. Seat will cover, the lower half of the seat will cover down there. We got that on up here. I mounted the glass a little better. I just took a bunch of washers and I kind of put a bend on them and drilled a hole and screwed them in. So it's sitting against the rubber. So I did all that. We got the track screwed in. There's a little piece that sit on and a couple screws there. So it does, it's fine. Again, it's only going, also I'm going that far back. It's only doing that or that. Anywho, so now we should be able to kind of set this up. I gotta figure out the carpet. I hope this turns out good on camera. It looks different in the viewfinder. The lines look very hard in the viewfinder, but it actually does blend in person a lot better. So I will, here's the plan. I'm gonna drill some holes, you know, one at the back. I'll probably drill 3 down there and 1 there. And that's what we'll use those fancy screws. I don't know where I put them. Well, those ones. We'll put some of those in. So I'll pre-drill the holes, and then I just take a small Phillips screwdriver and I punch a hole right through it so it goes through the fabric and the backing and all that. And I just run the screw in and tighten it up. It's very, very simple. And then same thing here. Put one of those in there and we're golden. So we'll set the camera up, and after that you can see these pre-drilled screws. That's what holds on this that mold, and everything all kind of sandwiches together. Standard stuff, other than it's a bazillion frickin' dollars. So let's get to work installing this panel. It's getting late. I'm tired. It's cold. It's like 40 below outside, and even though this garage is decently warm, it's still drafty and well, wuss. So I'd like to at least get this started. Maybe we'll put the rest of the trim in. We'll see how motivated I am. It's like 11 o'clock. So step 1 is eyeball measure where you want to put these screws. So it's got an 1/8 inch bit, and you want to match the other side exactly by completely guessing. Man, I feel like I'm a friggin' ogre in here. So now we have our holes precisely drilled. Go ahead and push this panel in where it's gonna live-ish. Then, number 1 Phillips. This is where it gets super technical. So we have our thing. So we're gonna go ahead and eyeball it. Give that a little push through. So we have a hole. Now, I mean, do what you want, make your hole how you see fit, but my experience, drilling through material, it grabs it and it rips all the foam and it's a nightmare. So now we have our nice fancy screw all the way through. Get it started. These are a little long side. I think these are like 1.25 inches. Probably could have gone smaller, but you know what? What Home Depot has, that's what you buy. So there we go. Kind of give her a, oh, this grabbed the material. Remember how I said? So what it's doing now, as I tighten it, it's trying to pull the door or the panel around and rip it. Which actually it's doing it both ways, which is a freaking hassle. So we take a razor blade and so we get the foam. So what happens is this foam on the back, you run the screw through it and it just grips it and starts corkscrewing it. And naturally it's pulling, so it's trying to pull the material from the top around, and now I've buggered it. Hopefully I can just cut it or get it all the way out and start again. Take your time on this. Use the right screwdriver that you've lost. Come on. Oh, this is buggered right up. This is hot rodding. So like I said, just pay someone to do your interior work and life's much easier. Whew. Okay, so we got it off, but see what happened there, how it grabbed the material and tore it all up, or start pulling on it. That's what we're gonna do. leave a little bit of tension. Man, this is really caught on there. With the knife, or the blade, I should say. This is awkward. And try again. I don't know what the hell happened there, but that was an absolute catastrophe. Anyways, as it turns out, that was the screw that broke Camel's back. So instead of powering through, I'm calling her for the night. I'll be back at it tomorrow. You know, so we got to get this fitting exactly how we want. So like that, be able to see the screw holes from behind, poke 3 more holes, mark that, put it in, and be done with it. But I'm done with it, even though it's not done with me, or vice versa. But I'll see you guys tomorrow after work. Next day, I have done nothing, but I left the heat on the garage nice and hot, so I wasn't going to complain about that. So we got to hop in there. Ugh, man, my leg still hurts from bashing her yesterday, but they had brand spanking new headlight buckets. A couple $100 each, pain in the ass, but you know what? What's another 100? Busted out another 100. And I got this for you guys losing it for the oil pressure and a set of headlights. But let's get in here. I'll set the camera up. We'll finish putting on that first panel. Then we'll just time lapse right through to the end. Hopefully it goes easily and we can get all the trim and stuff on. The carpet I ordered for the back is Amazon. Not gonna be here for a range of dates. Man, they're really dropping the ball lately, those guys. And I mean, Bezos may have to have a little one heart on heart. You know, we got videos to make here. So we get that, get the back done, headlights in, oil pressure gauge on. And then I don't know what we'll work on next. I'm sure we'll figure something out. It's always something. It's not like the car is done ever. All right, so where we had left it yesterday, I got through this screw. But we should be okay. Now, obviously with just one screw in, you have some adjustment. So we want to make sure we got it pretty close. Now, I'm not putting any screws in the top. I don't know if I said it yesterday or not, but we're just going to use the top molding piece to kind of hold it in. And again, the seat and all that will be kind of holding it anyway. So we'll put one in just for the time being at the back. But I'm a big believer, just sink 3 in there, one in the back, one there, and it's fine. So we'll kind of get that bolt lined up where we want it. I kind of went up a little bit there, eh? We'll split the difference. Where did I leave my tools? Of course, nowhere. Now we'll just kind of, where did I drill that hole? Ugh, stupid eyes. Okay, hole is there by about there-ish maybe. It's all about eyeballing. My life is eyeballing. Okay. Put that through. Oh. The screwdriver is literally in the screw. How good is that? Or in the hole, I should say. We'll see if we can get better. This is going to test the theory of if you go inside and come back another day, it'll all just kind of fall together. If this rips the door panel in half, we'll know that's bullshit. Gentle. Yeah, I grabbed it. I should have just powered through last night. Oh well, let's see what's going on here. Go back all the way up, we might win, but I feel like the rest of this is going to be in hyperlapse. Okay, I got the back piece in. It was just, I put 2 screws in, pretty simple. Now, we're gonna put in the rest of this trim. Now, as it turns out, I was actually relatively lucky. I didn't realize when I bought this car, it was just, here's how much it costs, and like it was a couple pictures, and it was pretty beat. I didn't know anything about Nomads. Still don't know much. But as it turns out, when I got the thing, there was a bunch of stuff in it. The guy I got it from was actually a Nomad guy. He was nice enough to leave a bunch of miscellaneous stuff, whether he put it in there or it was just spare parts or what, I don't know. But all these little inside molding pieces, obviously this is the top piece that'll go up there. This is the long bottom piece, which is actually kind of bent a little, but it's got its little cutouts for the trim and stuff. That's what's gonna go there. I was missing a couple pieces, so granted the stuff that was on the car is a little beat up. I could SOS pad it, but you know what? I'm not going to, it's a merge job. This piece here, so this goes up on the top. As you can see, it's wider than the piece in front of it, so it will fit in, and it's actually going to act as a window stop. Same with the bottom piece. It's wider, so the window will stop. That's what stupid, these windows only go so far back. Anyways, these ones, couple of them. This one, my buddy BW, he went and got some from a guy, by him, is big Nomad, or a big Tri-5 guy. 75 bucks American I paid for this piece, plus shipping and screwing around, so it sure cost me 100 and who knows what. And this one little piece here goes at the front. Is it on camera? Yeah. Again, 75 bucks. So I'm pretty sure, I don't remember what I had to buy. I think it was like $500 or $600 for the little pieces here and there. Which brings me to a point. If you're going to buy a Nomad, I would really recommend just buying one as complete as you possibly can. And do your research, because it will absolutely nickel and dime you to death. And you think you're saving money by buying a beater. Now I realize I'm in a bit of a unique situation. I build these on the internet, so if I build something, if I start with something too nice, no one's gonna watch that. No one wants to watch me put a set of license plates on a car. But I've been doing a lot of looks around. It seems like, I mean, Burt Jackson just happened. Some of the crazy ones were absolutely phenomenal, but seems like a nice driver is maybe like 60, 70 grand. And if you want like kind of more of something like this, like a beater, it's probably like 30 or 40 grand. And I'd say I have, no, more than 15 in this thing, price of the car and all the stuff. And it's not quite done yet. And it's far from original. And my labor was free. Anyway, these are all going to go in. They're already pre-drilled, and there's already pre-drilled bits on the car. When we replaced everything here, actually the inner structure was actually still in relatively nice shape, so that worked out great. So all I did was I got some long screws, and again, nothing's factory. So there's kind of, you know, countersunk Phillips jobbies, and we'll put them in. So we'll do that in quick motion. Hopefully. It was a bit of a trick getting these top ones started, but it turned out pretty nice. Now the one thing I don't have, and I didn't really factor in, I'll have to make something, but originally, a pointer stick. This is probably like a $200 pointer stick, but the roof line, or the headliner, actually rolled in to this B-pillar, and then it all got hidden behind this piece, and this actually fits in there like that. And that has been ripped off, torn off, missing or something. I mean, not that the headliner's in that great a shape. It's a little rippy at the back and over the seat, but you got to give the mice a place to live. So I don't know if I will make, like down the road, I'll make an individual little piece, maybe with this on it. I'm quite excited, but we'll figure that out when I do kick panels and all that. We'll go from there. But for now, we're just trying to get this thing together, because I hate doing this and I would like to be done. Okay, well, fast motion. Oh, this is bent. So we crawl in the back. There's just no room back here. I was blocking the camera like crazy, but so you can see they're wider top bottom. Not really too sure if this is supposed to go on the other side of the window channel or what. I put it inside of it. I didn't want it kind of rubbing against that rubber glass, but we'll see. Anyway, I'm missing a couple of screws. These ones here in the corners, this is like it's a Canadian screw right there, but they're like 2 inches long. They go to a different spot, I guess, in the radius. So just kind of did that to hold it, but now you can see, this is what happens. The glass hits there and there. So I got to put that piece of trim on, but that's what you get. All that glass, you get 8 inches. This had to go on first, this little whatever down piece. Those go over it, and then I will struggle to get this on. I believe that just kind of goes over a couple of screws, and that is basically it for inside here. Man, this is super untall. Anyway, I'm gonna get that piece done, and then I'll clean up in here. We'll kind of see what it looks like. But I'm overall pretty happy with it for sure. I got a piece of plywood we can maybe put in here. I don't know if I gotta trim it or what, but day by day, bit by bit. Not too bad, eh? I kind of boned this first panel. Unfortunately, there's a bit of a gap there. I'll put like a piece of aluminum on it or something. But yeah, I think it all kind of worked out. It smells a lot less like rat piss, so that's pretty sweet. Like I said, we got kick panels to do in the corner there. It's a little dark. I should have got a flashlight, but there and there. And then what else we got going on? Really, we just got to put some carpet down there, and I'm going to match the carpet to the tailgate. Maybe clean up the headliner just a scotch, but I'm actually pretty freaking impressed with the way this came out. I am by far no interior guy. Oh, I did this door. So I don't have a regulator or door handle. I just kind of put this on there, and it's just held on with 2 screws. This is more just for clickbait. You know, it has to look good. And if I shut the door because the window is baling wired up, I want to be able to get out. Stupid window. Anyway, man, this thing is really coming along. I'm pretty excited about it. Now, where we're going to end tonight, it's getting pretty late. I am pretty tired, but we're going to go ahead and just finish off those headlights. I'd like to do that with one of these. Now, this is the little connector that came with the wiring kit. It's pretty simple. Black would be ground, so you got right to the headlight bucket. And then I think green is high beam and gray is low in this situation. But I don't know. Well, I did it already on this side, so we'll just be able to double check it. But man, this thing looked nice. Went in super easy. So I'll set the camera up real quick. This definitely appear to be aimed down a little, but there are adjusters. The way these work, it's very simple. So we'll put the whole thing in. The headlight obviously sits in this cup with this over top of it, and then these little brakes in there, they hold little kind of tabs on the light so it can't spin. And then there's adjuster there, and a spring on that one side. So that side's your, damn it. That side is constant, and then obviously if you loosen the top, it'll come down. If you loosen the side, it'll come out, and then vice versa. So it's pretty simple setup. We're gonna get that taken care of. I had a little piece of hose, which I cut down, and I just put through the back for a little insulation so you don't chafe any wires. Always wrap your wires, boys. And yeah, so we'll get the camera set up. We'll do the other side real quick, and then bedtime. Okay, so we're at the front here. Pull our wires out. Now we've checked the other sides. We know what we got, and I've forgotten. Green is light, headlight for sure. This pink one, maybe? If it would just tell me, that'd be handy. Low beam, yeah, okay. So, jam that down there, pull this out. Now, got my little piece of hose. Just act as a grommet. Well, you know what, before I'm gonna do that, it gives you a gasket of all things. Chevys, eh? Why not complicate it? I don't think I've ever put one of these on because I've always been dealing with old junk, and these come apart in pieces, but I'm When you pay $100 to Summit Racing, you use it. So put the wires through. Just like that. And this should just ever so gingerly get stuck for some reason. There we go. I think we're lined up. Then I'll just go ahead and screw this thing in. I'll come back and I'll show you how we're going to wire this. Okay, so the light's on, but the battery is dead. We just took our ground wire. I grounded it right actually to the bucket. You know what? That is loose, so I'm going to tighten out the screwdriver. You tighten those with the impact. They tend to strip, but so she's working. The other two wires, they're all labeled, but we just kind of did it. Heat shrunk them together, and on this side we made sure we had a little bit of extra wire slack before I didn't cut it super trim, because that wire is going to go all the way through. In front of the car, when you're putting the light in, it's very simple. Typically there's, you know, Sylvania or Phillips or whatever it may be. Make sure their text is up and down wise, and it fits like that so it can't screw around. Put this on, a couple of screws, and it'll wind up and we're all dialed. So I'll get this done, do a little walk around. We're going to get cheeseburgers. All right, check out the front end. Come on, look at this. Headlights, man, tri-fives. So don't just kick the important stuff around there. Thank you. Windshields, glass, headlights. Gentle, there's stuff in there. I gotta find some marker lights. I had a good set, and I don't know where I put them. But, man, the interior, come on this side. You haven't even seen the interior. Camera Lady Danny. This side's just barely hung on there, but look at the door panels, everything. That looks pretty good, I think.
I think that looks awesome.
Pretty happy with this. So I gotta do kick panels, and then some sort of panel in here. Well, you gotta get that window working, but that can happen anytime. And then we got our tailgate dialed, so you actually sit on it. And I gotta get another one of these. It's supposed to be two, but it's up, it's working. And then still got that carpet on order from Amazon to cover this. What was this? So we gotta get that. I'll do, next video we'll do that. Put the wood in. And yeah, I mean, it turned out really good. All the trim is in there. The windows slide. Do it. It's just, I can't get over the bummer. Or you can watch your leg on that. Watch your leg on the corners. I have the welt to show. It's a working garage. Get with it, man. They can't see your face. Look at that. Huh? It's got stops. I have the locks on it. This thing is like all together. Right, dude? So, after leaving that, we're gonna put all this away. Next video, I said we're gonna put the wood in the back, get that dialed. I want to put a bumper on this thing. I think I have front and back bumpers. I only want to run a back bumper. I think no front bumper, kind of gasser style, right? Let's be honest. The bumper I have is a sedan bumper, not a wagon bumper. So we're going to modify a license plate, and then we're just waiting on a few little things for the taillights. I think I might order a different set of tires for this thing that would fit a little better, because these are actually from the 55. And I'd like to put them on these wheels, the one on the storage car, because they're much nicer. So we're just going to swap all sorts of parts. Yet again, you got to borrow one to the other. But if I put these wheels on that car, we're back to, you know, normal. These ones are just, and they actually have a different offset. These must be 8s, and those are 7s. So I think it'll fit better. Anyways, I'm yammering. I gotta get to editing videos, but first we're gonna eat some cheeseburgers. Thanks for watching. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you think of the interior, because let's be honest, patina interior, I'm loving it. I can't wait for that. And subscribe, makes a big deal for us, costs nothing. And I'll see you in the next video. See you later.